What's up guys, Schmidt here, welcome back to another video, and today guys we're going to be talking about Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. You guys have some Modern Warfare 3 gameplay in the background. I apologize, I didn't have any Modern Warfare 2 gameplay saved or anything, and I was not able to get some for this video today. So you guys have some MW2 gameplay I had saved up. Pretty good gameplay here on Fallen using the UMP-45, so hopefully you guys enjoy that. But as I said, we're going to be talking about Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, and probably our best information yet on whether this game will be coming sometime in the future. So I'm sure ever since COD 4 Remastered came out, you guys have seen plenty of videos talking about the potential possibility of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Remastered coming to us at some point. You know, why do one remaster, and you know, as well as it succeeded, whether you like the game or not. I personally didn't really enjoy COD 4 Remastered, but whether you liked the game or not, it was pretty successful. It generated a lot of revenue for Call of Duty, especially in the wake of the supposed failure, at least, of Infinite Warfare. You know, a lot of people believe that Infinite Warfare would not have sold well had there not been an available package deal with Modern Warfare Remastered alongside of it. So it was pretty successful, and a lot of people want to see another remastered classic Call of Duty title, and I'm pretty sure, at least from what I hear, that the #1 Call of Duty that people want to see remastered is Modern Warfare 2. It's a great game. It's by far one of the classics. A lot of people absolutely love Modern Warfare 2, and rightfully so. And so there's been a lot of different speculation on whether this game will come out or not, and different reasons why. But I think that we have our best reason why this could and very well likely will be coming in the future. So first of all, I want to give full credit of this idea to Nero's Cinema. If you guys know who Nero's is, he's a pretty big Call of Duty YouTuber. He just talked about this the other day, and I thought it was so interesting and so cool, and not a lot of people are talking about it, and so I kind of wanted to bring it to your guys' attention today. So Robert Bowling, if you guys don't know who Robert Bowling is, he was basically the Michael Condrey or David Vonderhaar of Infinity Ward back during the Modern Warfare series. He was kind of the big community guy, the one everybody turned to, the one everybody tweeted at if they were pissed, you know, that sort of thing. And he was also very famous for this line: "Fuck you, Last Stand!" Yeah, the very famous "F you, Last Stand" as the E3 prelude to Modern Warfare 3, and then of course, you know, for you guys that played Modern Warfare 3, we ended up getting Final Stand. It's a death streak. So in that sense, Robert Bowling kind of lives in infamy as, you know, kind of a big meme, a big joke. But he was still a big name for Infinity Ward back in the day, and a fan actually DM'd him about Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. Now, I'm not going to put any images or the video on screen of the DM. I just don't want to get in trouble with, you know, Activision or any way, shape, or form with putting this in the video. Nero's did put it in his, so if you guys want to go check that out, I'll have it linked down in the description, but I personally just don't want to take that risk of putting it in my video. Anyway, this fan DM'd Robert Bowling about Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, and Robert Bowling replied to him by saying he thinks that Modern Warfare 2 Remastered is confirmed, but he really has no confirmation or involvement at all with this title. Now, this can be looked at a couple of ways. You know, you can look at it the one way and say, well, look, a former Infinity Ward employee, someone very close with Infinity Ward, with Call of Duty, with Activision, is saying that he's pretty sure that this remastered title is confirmed to come out sometime in the future, which is great news. Or you can look at it the other way and say, well, look, this guy has been away from Call of Duty for so long, he's not a part of Call of Duty or Activision or any of the development teams anymore, so what could he possibly know about this game? And you can look at it from both sides. I personally kind of compare this scenario to the Frank Woods voice actor tweet. If you guys remember this, this was a little while ago, and it was kind of a little teaser at Black Ops 4 to where the voice actor Frank Woods, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he had tweeted out something involving Black Ops, saying that Black Ops fans will be very excited here coming very soon. It was something to that effect, and it, you know, got a lot of people very excited because, you know, someone involved with Call of Duty kind of leaking some information is very exciting news. And though Robert Bowling really doesn't have any direct affiliation with Call of Duty anymore, he's got about as much of anybody as we've heard from about this game possibly coming out. And so I think this is pretty good information. It's still nothing confirmed. It's still left up to speculation, and, you know, it'll be another time will tell thing. We'll see here coming in the future. But what I kind of want to talk about for the rest of this video is when and how this game could be implemented to us in the future. So obviously with Call of Duty 4 Remastered, the original Modern Warfare Remastered, it was packaged originally alongside with Call of Duty Infinite Warfare as kind of like a prestige edition. You would get the $80 version of the game, and alongside that you would get Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. It was something that generated a lot of sales for Infinite Warfare, especially since a lot of people weren't very hyped about it. And overall, you throw in a classic Call of Duty Remastered along with really anything, it's going to sell well, and that's the reason that Infinite Warfare sales really didn't dip too low from previous Call of Duty sales. Now, of course, later on it was released as a standalone title, and it still is today, but originally it was only available if you bought the game with Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Of course, there's a plus side to that with generating revenue, but there's also some downsides, especially for us in the community. During last year, it really split the community between, not only those two games, between Infinite Warfare and Modern Warfare Remastered, but of course Black Ops 3 was also still in place, so it just more and more split the community apart between who was playing what, which is not only bad for keeping an overall consistent and happy community, but it just doesn't do well for player count in your games. And for those people that, for example, may have enjoyed both games, that's a lot of content thrown your way, like 2 brand new Call of Duties thrown your way to be able to play. That's a lot of content. And so it's potential we could see another package along deal, kind of like we saw with Infinite Warfare and Modern Warfare Remastered. The time frame for this would probably be with Infinity Ward's next game, whatever that would be. I don't really see them doing Modern Warfare 2 Remastered during a Treyarch release for a couple reasons. One, a Treyarch release can sell very well just on its own, especially if it's going to be Call of Duty Black Ops 4. And not only that, 2 games by 2 different development teams in the same year being put out together really just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So that's one potential way we could see this. Another potential way is, say, halfway through the year between Call of Duties. So call it about 6 months after a Call of Duty and, therefore 6 months before the next one. There is a standalone remastered title release, of course, being Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. They released as a standalone, it would still sell extremely well, and it would be perfect kind of in the time where the current Call of Duty starts to die down and the hype for the new one starts to build up a little bit. That would be a good time for us as the community to get a new Call of Duty title. But there's also one more potential scenario, and Nero's talked about this in his video, and I didn't really think about this being a possibility, but I guess it potentially could. So what could be happening is, instead of, say, Raven Software, how they designed Call of Duty 4 Remastered, instead of them designing it and Infinity Ward designing their own game, they could potentially let Infinity Ward spend 3 years and do the entire remaster themselves. It's no secret that Infinity Ward's last couple titles have not overall done well, and they really need to hit a home run with this next game, so what better way to do that than to remaster one of the most classic Call of Duties, spend 3 years on it, get it right, make some fixes, and that game no doubt would be a home run for Infinity Ward. Those are pretty much the 3 ways that this game could be released. And the other thing to talk about is what changes could be made to the game, because as great as Modern Warfare 2 was, it essentially was still a very broken game. It had a lot of just very unbalanced things. It had a lot of things just in the basics of the game, such as red dot sights not being perfectly aligned, and just lots of bugs and lots of overpowered, just not very well balanced things in its nature. And so which of those things would be fixed? Could we see one-man army tuned or potentially removed? Could we see a nerfing of the noob tubes? Could we see a potential nerfing or removal of Commando or Last Stand? A lot of questions arise when you talk about Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, just because of what they would change for the game. I personally don't have a problem with any of these changes being made, simply for the fact of a Call of Duty that broken. If it was just remastered and updated graphics and those things, a Call of Duty such as that just wouldn't succeed as a new release in this day and age. I mean, if the slightest thing is off or broken in Call of Duty nowadays, there is hell to be raised. So a game such as Modern Warfare 2 that has a lot of issues, who knows how that would go over. Now, there's 2 sides to this, because you have your people that don't want the game touched whatsoever, they just want updated graphics and re-released. But then there's also those people that say, look, a 10-year-old game, just updated graphics released for another $60 is just an absolute scam by a company. I don't really need to get too much into the nitty-gritty details just because I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. You guys can feel free to let me know what you would want to see with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, assuming it comes out. You guys can let me know what changes you would like to see to the game, if any, or if you would just want it to stay the same with updated graphics. Also, let me know down below what you guys think about the whole Robert Bowling thing. Do you think this could be a legitimate leak or something to take note of, or is it just, you know, some former employee just spitting out what he thinks could happen? If you guys want my personal opinion, I think Robert Bowling talking about this is a pretty good sign that this could potentially coming. It's not like it's way out of line to assume this game could be coming anyway. There's just too much money to be made with this game for Activision to not do it. And as far as changes to the game, I would like to see changes. I wouldn't have a problem personally with them balancing out the game a little bit. I mean, as much as I do love Modern Warfare 2, I would like to see some changes made to better balance out the game, because if you release this game in 2019, best believe those noob tubes are going to get abused, and the fun of the game that is there just will be taken away by people who abuse those kind of things. Anyway, like I said, feel free to let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. But that has been all for today's video, guys. If you enjoyed, make sure to smack the Schmidt, add a like button down below. If you guys are new, make sure you subscribe. We got a bunch more videos coming soon. Hopefully, you guys all have a good one. I will see you guys on another video. So long, everybody.